The 2026 Six Nations continues to deliver drama in extraordinary fashion, and the latest chapter came in Cardiff, where Wales and Scotland produced a gripping contest that swung wildly before the visitors snatched a 26-23 victory in the dying minutes. It was breathless, brutal, and utterly compelling. The kind of test match that reminds everyone why this championship remains one of rugby's great spectacles. Coming in round 3 at the Principality Stadium, expectation was brutally one-sided. Wales had been dismantled 54-12 at home by France just 6 days earlier, a defeat that underlined the depth of their recent struggles. That loss marked their 23rd defeat in 25 matches, a statistic that painted a grim picture for a once dominant rugby nation. Confidence was scarce. Predictions were ruthless. Scotland, meanwhile, arrived brimming with belief. Fresh from a commanding 31-20 victory over England at Maul Field, a scoreline that flattered their opponents, Gregor Townsend's side were widely tipped to compound Welsh misery. On paper, it looked a mismatch. Instead, it became one of the most captivating matches of the tournament so far. A ferocious beginning, the tone was set within minutes. Welsh debutant Gabriel Hamerweb was left nursing a bloody nose in a frenetic opening that reflected the desperation and urgency of the hosts. Scotland threatened first, Duhan van der Merwe powering forward in a move that led to Joe Hawkins receiving a yellow card for a high tackle on Gregor Brown. Down to 14 men inside 4 minutes, Wales appeared destined for another long afternoon. Yet adversity sparked something in red. Scotland failed to capitalize fully on their numerical advantage. Kyle Stein was dragged down near the line by Tane Plumtree, and momentum shifted dramatically when Josh Adams intercepted to relieve pressure. From there, Wales seized initiative. A quick tap penalty from captain Dewi Lake caught Scotland napping, and prop Reescare crashed over to open the scoring. The Principality roared. Belief flickered. Hamerweb returned after treatment. Hawkins' yellow card remained unchanged following review. Plumtree, however, was forced off injured, an early setback for Wales' back row. Scotland struck back through a set-piece move, Blair Kinghorn supplying the final pass for Stein's score. But that would prove their only first-half try. Once Wales were restored to 15 players, they found rhythm and physicality that had been conspicuously absent in earlier rounds. Wales rediscover Bite Sam Costello's territorial kicking pinned Scotland deep, and with Eddie James, Kieran Alexman charging into contact, the hosts imposed themselves at the gain line. Adams finished clinically in the corner after sustained pressure, and Costello's conversion pushed Wales 14-5 ahead. The transformation was startling. Where recent Welsh performances had lacked cohesion and edge, this display was abrasive and unapologetic. They battered Scotland in collisions, competed fiercely at the breakdown, and refused to retreat defensively. Costello extended the lead with a 31st-minute penalty, capitalizing on mounting Scottish frustration. Townsend responded decisively, hauling off prop Nathan Macbeth and lock Max Williamson before halftime in a bid to spark urgency. Pierre Showman and Josh Bayliss entered the fray, but the impact was limited at the break. Wales led 17-5. Against all odds, they were in control. Extending the advantage, the hosts emerged after halftime with renewed purpose. Costello slotted another penalty to stretch the margin to 20-5, and when Scotland butchered a promising overlap, van der Merwe's pass eluding Hugh Jones, the sense grew that this might genuinely be Wales' day. Under head coach Steve Tandy, Wales' defensive organization had been questioned, particularly following his transition from a defensive coaching role with Scotland. Improvements were evident in Cardiff. The line speed was sharper. The breakdown contest was more aggressive. Yet even courageous defense can only bend so far. Scotland launched 26 phases in an exhausting assault on the Welsh line. The red jerseys repelled wave after wave, but on phase 27, a crack appeared. Finn Russell, scanning the defensive line with characteristic poise, spotted the slightest of gaps and surged through to score. His conversion cut the deficit to 20-12. That momentum shifted perceptibly. Lake departed soon after, and Costello followed with injury, depriving Wales of leadership and tactical direction. Scotland introduced George Horne to accelerate tempo, Sensing vulnerability, Jared Evans, newly arrived off the bench, briefly steadied Welsh nerves with a 58th-minute penalty after Scott Cummings was penalised at the ruck. At 23-12, the hosts retained an 11-point cushion, but the contest was far from settled. Russell's spark ignites, comeback from the restart. Russell delivered a moment of brilliance. His kick found space inside the Welsh 22 and bounced kindly for substitute Darcy Graham, who capitalized instantly to score with his first touch. Russell's conversion from the touchline narrowed the gap to just 4 points. Suddenly, Scotland were surging. What followed was an edge-of-the-seat period of rugby defined by exhaustion and desperation. Wales thought they had earned a crucial penalty, only for it to be overturned due to a crocodile roll by Tomos Williams. Referee Matthew Carley maintained consistency, later penalising Scotland's Sone Tuipulotu for a neck roll. Tension escalated with each breakdown done on 70 minutes. Lewis Rees-Zammit was penalised for playing the ball on the ground after a tackle from Tuipulotu. Scotland kicked to the corner but squandered the opportunity, spilling possession at the Maul. Time ticked away. Another penalty on 74 minutes allowed Scotland to kick to the opposite corner. Confusion reigned briefly as they took the line out before the referee signaled time back on, resulting in a disallowed try. The reprieve was fleeting. From a subsequent play, Scotland constructed a driving maul of relentless force. Joined by backs adding weight and momentum, it surged over the line with George Turner emerging triumphant. Russell's conversion edged Scotland ahead 26-23 with 5 minutes remaining. Cardiff fell silent. Further Welsh penalties handed Scotland territory, though Russell's late attempt at goal drifted wide. It mattered little. The final whistle confirmed a dramatic comeback. Lessons for both sides for Scotland. Victory keeps championship ambitions alive, but also raises questions. They were second best for long stretches, struggling at the breakdown and conceding turnovers. Without Russell's vision and Graham's opportunism, the result might have been different. Townsend's substitutions proved pivotal, injecting urgency and physical presence. The composure to execute late under pressure reflects maturity. Yet inconsistency lingers. For Wales, defeat is cruel but instructive. After conceding 50-plus points in successive games, they rediscovered defensive grit and forward authority. Wainwright and Jenkins were tireless. Kerr anchored the scrum impressively. Adams and Rees-Zammit offered cutting-edge and broken play. However, bench impact proved decisive. The loss of Lake and Costello disrupted cohesion at critical moments. Discipline, too, remains an Achilles' heel. This performance suggests Wales' slump may not be terminal. The physical edge once synonymous with the Gatland era resurfaced. Whether this marks sustained revival or merely a spirited interlude remains to be seen. A tournament alive with unpredictability, the 2026 Six Nations has become a theater of surprises. France's demolition of Ireland stunned observers. Italy's triumph over Scotland in Rome upended expectations. Ireland's resurgence against England reignited title permutations. Cardiff nearly delivered another seismic shock. Unpredictability now defines the championship. As the tournament progresses, momentum appears fragile. No team is invincible. No contest is foregone. Tactical nuance, bench depth, and psychological resilience are shaping outcomes as much as raw talent. In Cardiff, Wales demonstrated heart and rediscovered identity. Scotland showed composure and opportunism when it mattered most. The result may sting for Welsh supporters, but the spectacle elevated the competition yet again. If this championship truly is the gift that keeps on giving, then Wales versus Scotland was its latest unforgettable offering. A match of courage, chaos, and late-stage cruelty that will linger long in Six Nations memory.